Hey folks, Hervé Francois here at DeRosa Group. So excited to be with you here today. We're going to go over a really, really important part of your real estate journey. And this is within the acquisition process. Folks, your letter of intent, otherwise known as your LOI, just got accepted. We're pumped up. We're excited. But what happens next? Oh no, it got accepted. Folks, think about it. This is something that has an extremely low hit rate. Think about the amount of times you've been looking at deals, you've been submitting LOIs, they've been rejected for one reason or another. The seller didn't want to come down on price. You wind up getting outbid by another buyer. But this time, you and the seller, you've reached a decision, you've reached parity. The seller has accepted your LOI. This happens like 2% of the time, right? That we go ahead and we submit LOIs. So I'm pumped up. I'm excited for you. But again, now here, what next? Okay, what next is you got to hire a closing attorney, right? You need to hire a closing attorney because what needs to be drawn up is a purchase and sales agreement, otherwise known as a PSA. Now, typically you're going to want your attorney to go ahead and draw this up in order for it to be buyer friendly, but at times the seller will insist that his or her attorney is going to be drawing up the PSA. If so, that's okay. It's going to be more seller friendly, but that's okay. You're just going to make sure that you have your closing attorney review it line by line, paragraph by paragraph, page by page. Don't worry, this is what lawyers love to do. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you want to continue to make sure that you have your closing attorney review the PSA. So the step after that is really figuring out what's in the PSA. It's important for you to know. Folks, listen, even though lawyers are going to be involved sending back marked copies of the PSA to each other back and forth, you've spent a lot of time finding this deal, researching what city you want to purchase in, walking up and down and speaking with brokers, underwriting the deal. You want to spend the time reading this page yourself, page by page, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that it is, again, friendly to you and that all of your concerns are truly outlined and highlighted in this purchase and sale agreement. What are some of the items that are discussed in a PSA? Well, obviously, let's start off with the name of the buyer and the seller, right? Or at least the name of the buyer, and yes, the name of the buyer and the name of the seller of the property. What's also going to be in the PSA is obviously the property address. Other big highlighted items are going to be the purchase price, the closing date of the deal, financing contingency, title insurance, inspection, delivery of documents so the due diligence can begin, the terms to terminate the contract, any exhibits, and then of course a signature page in which both you and the seller will be going ahead and signing. Then you're going to keep a close eye truly on when both you and the seller sign that purchase and sale agreement, because the date that you do, okay, at this point, the clock starts ticking, and the clock starts ticking for various items that were discussed in the PSA. One of them, for example, is when it's time for you to go ahead and deposit your earnest money deposit. Typically, that's, let's say, within 7 to 10 days of the PSA being signed by both parties. Another one is when due diligence is going to begin, or how long you have for due diligence to occur, anywhere between 30 to 45 days from when the purchase and sale agreement has been signed. The closing date, that's also based off of when the purchase and sale agreement has been signed, somewhere typically between 90 to 100 days that the closing date has to take place, again, within when the purchase and sale agreement has been signed. So that date, the execution, which means both you and the seller signs the PSA, the clock starts ticking. So we're pumped up. We're excited for you. You got your LOI accepted. The real work begins. The fun work begins. But make sure you follow the steps. Hire an attorney. If he or she's not going to draw up the PSA for you, then make sure that they review line item by line item, get copies and read it. We wish you best of luck. Happy hunting and happy real estate growing. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.